Today, we're going to be learning about the first ever SCP that was ever created called the Prototype.
The guerrilla soldiers fire their rifles blindly into the jungle.
Okay.
They don't know what exactly they're shooting at, but something is out there among the trees.
How do they know?
They can't see.
Oh, that's so weird.
That's killing them. One of the young soldiers, barely more than a boy, stops to reload. As he pulls the magazine from his rifle, a blur passes by.
Okay.
The soldier next to him suddenly drops to his knees, clutching his neck.
What?
Blood pouring out between his fingers.
No way!
A hand grasps the boy's shoulder, and he spins around, nearly opening fire on his commander. The older man tells him they've got to go, and the boy joins a small group of soldiers who start running through the jungle, trying to get away from whatever this thing is.
This is so creepy, guys. Just imagine you're in this situation. There's a creature out in the forest. That alone just sounds creepy, and you can't even see it. It's a blur that moves so fast, and it's destroying your entire unit of people. That is insane.
As they run, there's another flash of movement, and one of the soldiers is pulled into the trees.
Oh my God.
You can hear his screams mixed with the otherworldly shrieks, but there's nothing they can do. It's already too late for him.
Okay.
Another soldier disappears into the trees with a blur.
Okay, they're all dead.
It's just him and the commander now. They emerge from the jungle into a clearing that contains a small abandoned farm.
All right, why is he walking like this? Just watch this dude. He's walking like he has a stick in his butt.
The commander motions for them to head towards the old farmhouse, and the two take cover around the corner of the home. They crouch with their guns ready, peeking around the corner, looking for any sign of the monster that's killed so many of their comrades.
I would be pooping my
The boy
pants.
wants to know what they should do. He opens his mouth to ask the commander, but he puts a finger to his lips and motions for the boy to keep watching.
Okay, so for whatever reason, it seems like this commander knows about the SCP that we're learning about today, which is the first ever SCP nicknamed the Prototype. Now, I don't know why he knows this like weird information that like you can't talk, you gotta be quiet. Maybe he doesn't and he's just kind of guessing, but it seems like he knows more than he's letting on.
The boy peeks around the corner of the house, but he doesn't see anything emerging from the tree line. It's quiet until the commander begins to scream.
What?
The boy turns to see a point forming on his chest. It's a black circle.
Huh?
No, not black, something darker. It's like it is the
Darker than
absence of
black?
any and all light.
That's a black hole.
The commander screams louder as the point of darkness grows. The commander's screams fade out, even as it looks like he continues to yell.
Huh?
The boy watches as the commander seems to be collapsing in, sucked into the dark orb in his chest.
His feet are literally getting
The
collapsed
commander's body
in.
folds in on itself, growing smaller and smaller until it disappears completely into the black hole,
goodness.
which vanishes along with him.
Wow.
The boy doesn't know what he just saw.
I don't think I do
He doesn't have
either.
time to think.
Look behind
because
him.
Emerging from the forest is the creature. The boy has never seen anything like it.
This is a
and
horror
runs into the
story.
farmhouse.
Yeah,
He
get out
locks
of there.
The door and pushes the old kitchen table in front of it,
Oh,
trying to barricade
no.
it as best he can. He looks around and spots a bed against the wall. It's the best hiding spot he can find.
Okay.
So he runs
Yeah,
and
just hide
slides
under there.
the bed, pulling himself as close to the wall as he can.
Yeah,
The boy
that's what I would
watches
do
and
too.
waits, unsure of what he should do. It's quiet. There's no more screaming of soldiers being killed or any more of those guttural animal-like squeals.
Okay, guys, I don't know if you have any information about SCP-001, but for whatever reason, you guys seem to know a lot about SCPs. So if you have any weird facts or information about the SCP, leave some comments down below because this is the first time I am ever seeing this SCP, and it seems deadly. It seems like it might be more overpowered than Shy Guy, more overpowered than the statue, more overpowered than the red pool that like spawns in brand new SCPs. It seems like this thing is really fast. It can destroy you in one single hit, and it also can form a black hole, which is deadly. I can't believe this thing even exists.
Go back to wherever it came from. The boy doesn't dare come out from under the bed though, as he watches the door, waiting for something to burst through.
Yeah, I would stay there for all of eternity.
Else. Another of those black
No
points
way!
appears in the middle of the room.
How?
It looks like it bends the light around it, distorting the room
What?
nearby. The boy watches from under the bed as out of the point,
Yo.
a thin black
No,
limb
no,
emerges.
no.
First one, then another. He can see its strange pointed legs with no feet standing just
Ew.
in front of the bed now. With a high-pitched cry, the creature effortlessly tosses the bed aside.
Oh.
The boy is left exposed, cowering against the wall.
Oh my
The
God.
creature screams, opening its wide
That's it.
mouth that seems
That's
to
the
split its
prototype.
eyes face in two, revealing 2 rows of jagged teeth. The boy screams back, crying in fear, and sees that the creature isn't eyeless after all.
What?
Inside
Oh.
its grotesque mouth, a milky blue ball appears.
Is that an
There's
eyeball?
no iris, but the boy knows whatever this thing is, it's looking at him. The boy feels his chest grow tight. He looks down to see that one of the black points is
No.
forming on his chest. He can feel himself being squeezed and crushed, pulled down into this singular point.
That is so
All
scary.
noises, including his screams, disappear as he is pulled into this soundless void. But then he hears something again. He looks up to see that the creature is being riddled with bullets.
Who?
It turns
Who
to
is that?
escape and bursts through the wall of
Who
the
shot
farmhouse.
him?
The dark orb on the boy vanishes, and he sees, standing in the doorway, his friend and savior.
What?
He clutches his bleeding
way.
throat with one hand, holding his rifle in the other. The boy rushes to him as he collapses to the floor.
Okay, I take it back. That SCP is garbage. It literally, so a lot of SCPs, they don't take any damage from any like bullets or nuclear missiles. Like the hard to destroy reptile is one of the most overpowered SCPs because it can't be destroyed, literally. But it seems like the prototype, it's the first ever SCP, and it can take damage from bullets, right? So, I mean, it seems powerful, but maybe not as powerful as I originally thought.
Blood is pouring out of his neck, and he can no longer speak. But he dies knowing he saved his young friend.
I mean, for
The boy
now,
starts to feel very tired.
the
He
SCP could
sits
still be
down
out
next
there.
to his dead hero. He's all alone now. His entire group of freedom fighters now wiped out by this demon.
Now would be a
The
good
boy
time to
feels
run,
nauseous and
man.
dizzy.
You should
He
run.
coughs into his hand and looks down to see that it's covered in his own blood.
Because yeah, the black hole, I mean, it opened and it probably like messed up all of his internal things.
A group of boys run down a jungle path.
Is that it?
Laughing and playing.
Is that the
when they
end of the
suddenly
story?
stop and grow quiet. There's something up ahead of them.
Do they
It's a
find
man
the house?
lying on the side of the road. The boys look scared, unsure if they should check it out.
Yeah,
But
what's
then the
going
smallest
on?
of all of them emerges from the group and bravely marches up to the man. Not wanting to let the youngest of their friends make them look like cowards, the rest of the boys soon follow.
Is that the
The man on the
prototype?
side of the road.
Wait, no, it kind of looks like the Plague Doctor. So I don't know if maybe this video has like multiple SCP stories combined into one. I thought it was just SCP-001, the prototype, which is the first ever SCP. But I don't know. This guy, he looks a lot like the Plague Doctor. So maybe it
moaning
is.
and looks to be in pain. As they get closer, they can see that he must have been in a terrible accident. His skin is gray, and it looks like his long, thin arms only have three fingers. What should they do? The
Run,
small boy picks up a
run,
stick and reaches out
get
to
out of
poke
there.
him, not wanting to touch him with his own hands.
What are you doing,
Before
bro?
he can, the man rolls over.
No, 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 no.
opening
Oh,
his
wait.
mouth with a horrible shriek.
It still is the
reveals a
SCP.
glassy blue eye inside, as the boys turn and run, hands over their ears. Several weeks later, the small Guatemalan town holds a meeting. The crowd of people in the room are angrily yelling at the mayor, who stands at a podium, demanding answers from him about what happened to their dead or missing loved ones.
It's so weird because they didn't say like what time period this is taking place in. So I mean, it looks like it's like modern day time because obviously like they have AK-47s and stuff. Maybe it's like the 50s or the 60s because I feel like kind of like in Stranger Things, that's kind of just like when a lot of this like experimental stuff happened in like the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s, where people just like didn't care. They were just willing to test different things. And that's probably why they created SCP-001. They were probably trying to create like some superhuman, and then they accidentally created this creature that can open black holes and destroy everything. So it's
A series
people's
of photos
fault.
are hung on the wall behind the mayor in remembrance of those who have disappeared into the forest or mysteriously died from a rapid illness, including the brave young boy.
Yeah, there he is.
One man shouts at the mayor, wanting to know where his daughter was. Another asks how her healthy husband could drop dead from an illness after being perfectly healthy only days before. The mayor tries to calm the frustrated townspeople, telling them that he knows there have been rumors of a demon out in the forest, but that's all they are. Rumors.
Nope.
The mayor warns them, though,
Not
that
rumors.
something is out there, though he doesn't know what. There is an animal or man that is making people sick. It may also be hunting people. Neither he nor the police know exactly what is going on. But there is good news. A group of men have come to help them.
Yes, finally, we got the
mayor points
military.
towards a stern-looking
Boom,
man
baby.
in a military uniform who is
Good.
standing with a small group of other soldiers.
That's what
with a
we need,
scientist off to the side of
firepower.
the stage. The mayor explains that this man, General Machoy, is from America, and that he's going to help them. The crowd doesn't cheer in the way that the mayor seems to have expected.
Okay, I am also kind of curious about the scientist that the commander came with, because if this is the first ever SCP, then does the SCP Foundation even exist yet? Like, is it just forming? Did the SCP Foundation make this SCP, or were they created after the fact to study the SCPs that like maybe the military made? Maybe they made them in Area 51. Like, I don't really know where the SCP started or originated. So if you guys know anything, leave some comments down below. But I have a feeling that the SCP Foundation maybe started after to study the SCPs that like the military created.
But they at least stop their yelling as the general steps to the podium and thanks the mayor for the introduction. The general looks over the crowd who are waiting and hungry for answers about the monster that's suddenly begun plaguing their town. He tells them that it is true that he's been sent here by the US government in order to investigate what's been happening and stop whatever threat is out there in the jungle by any means necessary.
That is gruesome.
He can't promise that he'll be able to bring back any of their missing loved ones, but he can at least prevent whatever this is from taking any more.
Okay.
He then gestures to the rest of his group and tells the crowd that the men he has brought with him have been specially trained to deal with this exact type of situation.
So maybe they are in the SCP Foundation. That is weird because, like, why would they be specially trained for SCPs, right? It doesn't make sense unless the SCP Foundation has already been created.
And that they don't need to worry any longer. The only thing everyone needs to do is stay out of their way, and all will be taken care of. With that, he walks off the stage as the crowd erupts into more shouting. General Machoy stops at the scientists waiting next to the stage. Well, Dr. Ketter, what do you think? The scientist adjusts his glasses and answers, "This is what we've been preparing for. The overseers kept telling us this day would come.
The overseers?
Looks like it finally has." The group of soldiers led
Okay,
by
that's
General
really
Machoy
sus.
make their way through the dense forest. Dr. Ketter is just ahead of them, using a Geiger counter to follow the creature, the audible clicks of the radioactive entity telling him which way it came. They track the source of the radiation to a clearing in the jungle where a small village once stood. Most of the buildings are overgrown with plants and thick vines, but with it growing dark, this seems as safe a place as they will find to make their camp for the night.
Why did they go there at night, dude? They should have went there during the day. Nothing good happens at night.
The soldiers fan out to search what's left of the town, as Dr. Ketter continues looking around for where the radioactive trail might lead them next. As General Machoy is checking out one of the many dark old buildings, one of the older soldiers cries out, "Hey General, it looks like this generator still works."
Huh?
With the sound of an old diesel motor coming to life,
Okay.
lights in the village suddenly flicker on. They now have fortifications and light.
That's crazy
Though he'd
that
never
still
admit it,
works.
General Machoy was feeling nervous about spending the night in the jungle. But now at least some of those nerves were being washed away by the old flickering yellow lights.
Okay.
Later that night, the general is questioning Dr. Ketter on where the creature went. Dr. Ketter is confused, though. His readings showed high traces.
Oh, no. It's going to be right in the village. Of course it is, bro. Of course he's confused. He's like, the radioactive levels, they're really high right here. I wonder where he could be. And then, boom, they're all going to die.
Of radiation leading into this village. The creature came here. He was sure of it. But now he can't figure out where it went.
It's in the
It's
village.
as if it came into the village and then simply vanished.
Or maybe it's still in
Outside,
the
one of the
village.
soldiers on watch tells the rest of the group who are sitting around a fire to shut up, that he thinks he saw something in the woods. Everyone immediately springs into action, taking defensive positions and aiming their rifles into the dark tree line. There it is again, he says.
That's
as
it.
a flash
That's
of
it. They're all
darkness moves
dead.
just
They're
beyond the
all dead.
clearing. No, it's over here, says another soldier on the opposite side. How could the creature be moving so fast around them? Are there multiple of whatever this is out there?
Nope, he's
The
just
soldiers
really
form a
fast.
circle to make sure that the thing can't get behind them. What they can't see is the point of darkness forming behind all of their backs and the thin pointed legs stepping out. The general's radio comes to life. "I think we've got something out here, But his message is cut off by screams and the sound of gunfire. General Machoy tells Dr.
Wait, that was
but his
such a
message
funny
is cut
face.
off by screams and the
The
sound of
scientist is like, oh, we're all dead.
gunfire. General Machoy tells Dr. Ketter to stay inside and runs out of the building, where he finally gets a glimpse of the demon that they've been tracking.
He
The
can
tall,
see it.
thin
Oh!
creature is massacring his squad. It dashes between
Whoa!
them at an inhuman speed, using its three-fingered hands to rip
Yo,
the limbs
wow!
off some soldiers
Wow!
and slash at others with its razor-sharp claws, opening up their necks or disemboweling them before moving on to the next. The general fires his rifle at the creature and misses, but it's enough to get it to retreat. General Machoy runs back inside the building where Dr. Ketter is waiting. What was it? What did you see out there?
What do you
The
think?
general doesn't know how to begin describing
Okay, I'm starting to think this scientist might be dumb.
a monster that just killed all of his men. It's like nothing he's ever seen before, and something that no amount of training could prepare him for. As the two men ponder what to do next, the Geiger counter on the table suddenly starts to click.
It's getting
softly at
closer.
first, but then more and more.
It's
as if a
getting
huge amount of radiation
closer.
has suddenly flooded the room.
Oh, brother.
The general grabs the doctor and drags him out, leaping out of the building just before it collapses in on itself, disappearing into the micro-singularity that formed inside. The two men look up to see it standing right in front of them, its huge mouth open to reveal its glassy blue eye. "Look out," Dr. Ketter cries, but he isn't talking about the demon, as he and the general
the black
roll
hole,
to the side,
right?
just avoiding the power line
wow.
that has been cut loose by the destroyed building.
Okay, maybe the scientist is
Power
kind
line
of
hits
smart.
the ground and immediately begins to spark, sending out bright pulses of white electrical light. The creature cries out with a gut-wrenching scream and collapses to the ground, huddling up into a ball as it tries to cover up its mouth with its thin arms.
That's so weird.
"Is it the electricity?" the general asks, confused about what suddenly stopped the killer's rampage.
Huh.
But Dr. Ketter realizes
I don't know what it is about Dr. Ketter, but he makes some really crazy faces. Why does it look like he's trying to poop?
it isn't the sparking power line that the creature has been immobilized by.
It's the light.
It's the flashing lights.
Oh.
The general doesn't wait for his answer, though.
He pulled a rocket launcher out of his flippin' butt. Where did that come from?
And fires the weighted net from his gun, trapping the howling creature.
Maybe not a rocket launcher, but they captured
Dr. Ketter
it.
examines the creature at the field research center that has been set up several miles from the village. A strobe light has
Okay, I'm kind of curious as well, like, how were they able to transport the SCP considering it can just go into a black hole? Like, wouldn't it just escape immediately?
been affixed to the inside of the creature's cage, but even when the doctor turns the light off, the grayish-brown skinned entity still remains curled up in a ball on the floor.
Oh.
The doctor wonders if perhaps the creature is hungry, but it shows no interest in any of the various meats, fruits, and vegetables they've presented to it. The doctor stands in the doorway of the tent that has been set up to house the creature's cage and gives an update to General Machoy, who is anxious to get the creature moved to the United States and a more secure containment environment. Dr. Ketter stresses that he fears the journey might kill this creature, though, and put an end to the incredible research and testing they can perform on this amazing living specimen. The general turns to leave, but stops to salute the body of one of his soldiers being carried by on a stretcher.
Oh, wow.
Dr. Ketter
That's so
himself
sad.
turns to go back to his research when he notices something. The creature's mouth is ever so slightly open.
What does that mean?
Dr. Ketter has yet another idea. That night, Dr. Ketter enters the temporary morgue and
What are
takes
you
a
doing?
severed arm from one of the dead soldiers.
No.
Back in the research tent, he presents the arm to the creature, sliding it through the cage bars. The creature doesn't react.
No.
Dr. Ketter continues to watch and wait.
Why would you
After
do
a
this?
time, the creature finally stirs.
Dr.
It's
Ketter.
the first time he has seen it move since it was captured. The creature reaches out with its long three-fingered hand and grabs the arm before starting to feed on it.
No!
"You like that, don't you?" Dr. Ketter asks.
Ew.
And bizarrely, the creature seems to respond, giving an almost baby-like coo. "There's lots more of that if you behave. All I want is to study you, learn how you work."
Okay, this
The creature
scientist has
continues to
lost his
feed,
mind.
starting to crunch on the bones now that all of the meat is gone. "Yes, I believe you'll be good," the doctor says as he approaches the cage. "You're going to make me world famous."
Okay,
Soon,
this scientist
everyone will
he's a
know the
bad
name
guy.
Herman Ketter. The creature's hand shoots out from between the bars so quickly he never even saw it. Dr. Ketter starts to scream as it grasps and claws at him.
No
A soldier
way.
standing guard outside runs in, but a black point of light immediately appears on his torso, causing him to fold in on himself into the singularity. The creature drops the bloody Dr. Ketter to the floor, who reaches for the emergency strobe light activation button as another singularity opens up inside of the cage.
Oh my god, he's gonna escape.
The creature appears to willfully step into it before emerging out of another just outside of the bars.
Oh.
More soldiers rush into the tent
No,
in time
no,
to see the creature feeding on the still living Dr. Ketter. One presses the button to activate the high-powered strobe lights, which cause the creature to start screaming and thrashing about, trying to escape the flashing lights. Multiple nets are fired onto the creature, pinning it to the ground as its screams slowly fade back.
Okay,
to
so they
whimpers.
captured it again.
On Overseer orders, the creature is moved to ADRX-19, a secure base located somewhere in North America.
Okay, so
site's director
the SCP Foundation got its hands on the SCP, but not before the doctor got deleted.
Gives a presentation to a group and explains that thanks to the work of the late Dr. Ketter, they now know that the creature exhibits signs of fear and sickness when in the presence of strobing lights, and that it is unable to produce the microsingularities that it uses for defense and teleportation when it is in this sickened state.
Interesting.
When healthy, though, the creature is extremely dangerous thanks to its superhuman speed, strength,
Yeah,
and cunning.
I mean, that's definitely a Keter
It was
class.
also discovered that it is unable to teleport through lead, which its new containment cell has been
weird.
lined with.
How do
And
they figure
extreme
that out?
security procedures have been implemented, including the installation of a reinforced steel blast door and constant patrols of the outside of the cell by armed guards who are equipped with high-powered strobe lights. The site director leaves the room and the overseers discuss the fate of the creature, which has been given the designation number 86243AR-001, though most have taken to calling it simply 001. One of the overseers argues that the creature must be secured and contained in order to protect humanity.
So I'm really curious as well, because it seems like this is the first ever SCP that they're documenting. However, like, they have some sort of foundation. They have a group of like people that know about the SCPs. So it seems like they have seen other SCPs, but it's weird because they named this one 001. So it's the first ever SCP, but I don't know. It seems like they know a lot more than we know, which is weird.
Who knows how many more of these might be out there? They now know that the rumors of these types of entities aren't merely isolated events, and that there could be countless more of these anomalies. Hundreds, maybe even thousands.
There are thousands.
The rest of the overseers unanimously agree. One of them picks up the report that was left behind by the site director. Redact this report immediately and start a new document archive. This is only the prototype. I have the feeling there will be many more of these. I hope you enjoyed this special exploration.
And that was it. Shout out to Dr. Bob for that amazing video on the first ever SCP. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure you guys leave a like on today's video. And while you're at it, click this video right here to learn more about SCPs.